Yes, Shilpa, can you able to hear me and see the screen? Can I start the session? Okay. Hi guys. Good evening. So this is Kiran. So for the past 1 week, we are seeing what is S3 and what are the features of S3, and we have seen RDS instances. We have seen SNS, SQS, SES services in AWS. So today we are going to see about Amazon CloudWatch. So what is CloudWatch? From the name itself, you can decide the meaning and the working of the service. So CloudWatch is nothing but watching your cloud or watching the services that has been established inside your cloud. Your cloud instance I'm saying AWS. So under AWS, what are the services that are available? All the services to the max, to the most, and the services like Amazon EC2, auto scaling, elastic load balancing, Amazon EMR or Amazon EBS elastic block storage or Amazon storage gateway, RDS, DynamoDB, elastic cache, even SNS and SQS can be monitored under this CloudWatch. So this is the pictorial representation of a CloudWatch. The green diagram here shown is the service icon for CloudWatch in AWS, and these are the service icons for EC2 instances, and this is the service icon for auto scaling, and this is the service icon for elastic load balancing, and this is the service icon for EMR, and Amazon EBS, and this is the service icon for AWS storage gateway, and this is the service icon for Amazon RDS relational database and Dynamo database, and this is the service icon for elastic caching. And I think so we have seen Amazon EBS, Amazon EC2, Amazon RDS we have covered, and Amazon SNS, this icon for Amazon SNS, simple notification service. It shows like a message being popped up from your mobile phone, and Amazon SQS simple queue service. So these all service can be monitored under CloudWatch. So let us see what is CloudWatch. So Amazon CloudWatch is a monitoring service for AWS cloud. So this service is only purely dedicated only for monitoring and no other thing. And this service enables monitoring for all the resources and the applications you run on AWS. Only you can enable monitoring for the resources that are running on your AWS console. So you can use Amazon CloudWatch to collect and track metrics. So nothing but collecting and tracking this. Collect and monitor log files, set alarms, and automatically react to changes in your AWS resources. So in this paragraph, they are saying that Amazon CloudWatch is monitoring service for AWS cloud. So this is only the service that has been enabled to monitor all the other instances, how the other instances are working, all those things that is running inside your AWS. Not only the instances, you can monitor, you can set up a CloudWatch for elastic load balancers, you can set up a CloudWatch for relational database, you can set up a CloudWatch for your SQS, SNS services that have been enabled inside your AWS. So what is the main purpose of this CloudWatch? The CloudWatch collects and track matrices. So it collects the data how the server is working and how the elastic load balancer is working, or how your Redshift cluster is working, or how your relational database is working inside the AWS cloud. So what it will do, it won't only watch, it will collect and track matrices. So it will collect the data. So how the server is running. So for yesterday the server might be running in a proper way, but today if the server is having some issues, so it will run in a different way. So it will collect the logs and it will keep it inside it, or it can store the same logs in Amazon S3. You have the same Amazon S3 for CloudWatch. Then all those data will be transferred and it will be sent into Amazon S3. So not only this is for watching, you can set alarms in the same notification, monitor log files, and automatically react to changes on your AWS resources. And automatically react is nothing but if your server is shutting down, it reacts and it sends a message saying that inside the management console, saying that your system has been shut down. Your system has been shut down, or your system is not running properly, or your system it has been crashed or something. So some notifications might be sent from the management from the CloudWatch to any other services like SMS or SQL. So from CloudWatch, the information is collected and it is transferred to SQS or SMS. From SQS, it is transferred to your mobile or the email service that you are using in AWS. So Amazon Cloud can monitor AWS resources such as EC2 instances. So it starts up with EC2 instances. So in this session, I'm going to show you how Amazon CloudWatch can be configured in EC2 instances in a small video. So Amazon DynamoDB tables. So DynamoDB is nothing but the database tables, and Amazon RDS DB instances. RDS is nothing but relational database service database instances, as well as custom metrics generated by your application and services. What are these custom metrics generated by your applications and services? And any log your application will be nothing but if you are having some application running inside your system, for example, Apache Tomcat is an application, it's a web server. So if that is generating some types of logs, so even you can monitor those types of logs that are generated by your application. You can use Amazon CloudWatch to gain system-wide visibility into resource utilization. So Amazon CloudWatch, so what they are saying is you can use Amazon CloudWatch to gain system-wide visibility into resource utilization. To gain the system's wide visibility, so you can get the systems resources widely visible and application performance and operational health. So using this, you will be getting a wide visibility is nothing but you will be getting visibility in the form of graphs or alerts or notifications or something like that. That's what they are saying. So in the CPU utilization, if for example, if in a bar graph or in a bar chart, if you are seeing the CPU utilization, then it will be more understandable for you comparatively to seeing in numbers. So application performance and operation. You can use these insights to react and keep your application running smoothly. So by watching this and by having a model like CloudWatch, you can use that and you can keep application running smoothly. If something goes up, you can additionally add the CPU. The CPU is going up and your CloudWatch is alerting you saying that the CPU is more and you need to add some more memory. So you can go manually and you can change the instance size or instant time. So your application will run smoothly and it won't get crashed or connected. So that's what we are saying here. So this is the base of CloudWatch. CloudWatch is nothing but a monitoring service. So just become a cloud watching, as the name itself indicates watch. Watch is watching or monitoring. Or monitoring any kind of services or the resources or the applications that you run on cloud or any services that you run. Even for S3 you can configure a CloudWatch. S3 is a storage service. You can configure a CloudWatch. For ELB you can that is ELB is nothing but your elastic load balancer. As I said on that day, elastic load balancer is nothing but balancing the traffic between n number of systems. So if you are keeping an elastic load balancer in front of 10 systems, so all the traffic will pass through elastic load balancer and it will try to reach all the 10 systems. So this load balancer, what it will do, as I said, if the traffic is more, it will see which computer has less traffic at that time, or which computer is active at that time, so it can send divert the traffic towards that system. So that is the main concept of, or that is the working principle of a load balancer or elastic load balancer. So we have a conventional load balancer and elastic load balancer. We will call conventional load balancer as a network load balancer (NLB), and we are calling this load balancer inside the cloud as ELB, elastic load balancer. Nothing more or less, all the working principles all are same. So these are inputs to react and keep your applications or services or instances or any kind of things to run smoothly inside your own environment. One day it can be configured to your subscription. So if you are having one subscription under AWS, only to your subscription this can be configured and it cannot be configured apart from any AWS resources. So only if you have AWS resources that too inside your subscription, you can enable this CloudWatch and you can ask this CloudWatch to monitor all those resources or the services or the applications or the DB instances or any type of services that are running inside AWS can be monitored using this CloudWatch. So what are the benefits? So as I said, CloudWatch, Amazon comes up with benefits. Always Amazon comes up with benefits. Why does Amazon always say what is the benefits and what is the difference? See, that's where the place the Amazon comes into picture and they stand alone apart from the conventional data center. So this benefits are monitoring Amazon EC2 instances. The EC2 instances can be monitored. So if I say EC2 instances can be monitored, if you go inside the EC2 instances, we have CPU utilization, we have data transfer, we have disk usage activity from EC2 instances, basic monitoring for no additional charge. So if you are having EC2 instances inside AWS, so you don't have to pay any additional charge, but you can enable this CloudWatch and you can monitor your instances. So for an additional charge, CloudWatch provides detailed monitoring for EC2 instances with a high resolution and metric aggregate. No additional software needs to be installed. So what we are seeing is additional software. So we have two kinds of monitoring. Normally inside the conventional data center. If I say conventional data center, that is nothing but the normal data center that is working previously before the cloud has come into picture. So even now we have a lot of conventional data centers. Many clients are using conventional data centers, and they are migrating into cloud by seeing the cost cutting. So in the conventional data center, for example, we have a tool named Nagios, we have a tool named Scom, we have a tool named SolarWinds Orion, and we have a lot of tools. So what are these tools will do is nothing but these tools will have a dedicated agent, an exe file or RPM file. Exe is for Windows, and MSI is Microsoft extension for installing an application, .rpm is another package manager. So these types of files will be there for these monitoring tools that are not used inside AWS. I'm talking about a conventional data center monitoring tools. So this exe file has to be installed on each and every systems of your conventional data center. So you have to either using your SCCM or you have to manually install this packages inside each and every system inside your conventional data center. So what this type of monitoring is known as agent monitoring. So we are installing an agent inside each and every server, and using that agent we are fetching those informations or any alerts or any issues into the server, and these agents will have a connectivity over LAN, and it will be connected to a server called as Scom server or Nagios server or SolarWinds Orion server or something like that. So from this agent, this data are transferred to LAN and they will be stored up inside the Scom server. So from the Scom server, we can able to monitor those instances or those servers. But in AWS, it is not like that. Everything here you need not to install any agents on those instances. So this is known as agentless monitoring. So this is another one advantage of, because if you are installing sometimes if you are patching, if you are doing patching for your system, or you are disabling any firewall or you are disabling any ports inside your server that is in your data center, this agent might become worthless or it won't work because if you are doing some changes. But in agentless monitoring, it is not like that. Whatever things you are doing from server side, the agent issue will not be there, as this is agentless. So the data communication over the CloudWatch will be proper, and every time or every fraction of second you will be getting the updates or detailed monitoring from those EC2 instances. So monitor other AWS instances. As I said, monitor matrices on Amazon DB tables, Amazon EBS volumes. Amazon, as I said, Amazon EBS volumes and Amazon S3 are totally different. So Amazon EBS volume is elastic block storage. Amazon S3 is a simple storage service, and it is an object-oriented storage. So Amazon RDS DB instances. So monitor matrices in Amazon RDS DB instances. Amazon Elastic Map Reduce Job Flows, Elastic Load Balancers, as I said, and Amazon SQS. So simple queue service. So Amazon SNS topics. So SNS is nothing but, as we have discussed a week back or 2 weeks back, that SNS is simple notification service topics, and more for no additional charge. So these all can be monitored with no additional charge. If you are having, if you are already using this Amazon EC2 instances, Amazon Dynamo DB tables, Amazon EPS volumes, Amazon RDS DB instances, Amazon Elastic Map Reduced Job Flows, or Elastic Load Balancers. So this Amazon CloudWatch is totally free of cost. So you can do monitoring for all those services that are mentioned here. As I said, no additional software needs to be installed. So as it is an agentless monitoring, so no additional software needs to be installed. So monitor custom metrics. So submit custom metrics generated by your own application via a simple API request. So you can submit custom metrics generated by your own application via a simple API request and have them monitored by Amazon CloudWatch. So you can just give a custom metrics generated by your application might be generating some metrics. So you can customize those metrics and you can give them monitored by Amazon CloudWatch. You can send and store metrics that are important to your application operational performance to help you troubleshoot and spot trends. Trends is nothing but the spike or the hike of your application whenever the applications are used more. So at that time you can have a close watch for those applications using Amazon CloudWatch. So if something happens to your application, so before it is happening, we can get rid of those issues by seeing the CPU height or your input output per second, or your memory utilization is more for your because of your application. You can stop some other usage on your EC2 instances. So monitor and store logs. You can use cloud logs to monitor and troubleshoot your systems and applications using your existing system. So using CloudWatch logs to monitor and troubleshoot your systems and applications using your existing system and custom log files. You can set your existing system application and custom log files to CloudWatch logs and monitor these logs in near real time. Near real time is nothing but the current time when your application is working. So this monitor and store logs. You can also monitor and store logs of those applications in S3. Either it can be done in S3 bucket. So this can help you better understand and operate your systems and applications, and you can store your logs using highly durable, low cost storage for later access. So as I said, you can store these logs either in S3 frequently access storage or S3 infrequently access storage, or you can access these logs in laziness. You can archive these logs in laziness. So for a better understanding, what I am trying to say is you can monitor any EC2 services or any AWS services using CloudWatch, and the logs of those monitored can be kept inside either any type of storage that are used in AWS. So it can help you better understand and operate your systems and applications. So if you are checking those logs in future, for example, your application might have generated some logs, some custom logs. So those applications, those log files can be stored either in S3 frequently access or infrequently access or in S3 places. So you can store those logs using high durable low cost storage. As I said, it's high durable. S3 is a high durable and low cost storage for later access. So if you want to archive those logs also, you can store it in Glacier. If you want to access those logs after 1 month or every month or every year or something like that, you can store that in Amazon infrequently access. And if you want to access those logs and you can troubleshoot some issues that are happening continuously in your systems or application, you can also do it. Set alarms. So set alarms is nothing but you are setting an alarm, for example, for if you are having a CPU inside your EC2 instances. So that CPU has to reach only 80% or 85% to the max. So if it is reaching more than 80 to 85%, you need a notification or an alert to be triggered on your management console, or you want an alert to be triggered to your mobile devices or your email service. So something like that. So this alarms can be configured. That alarms is nothing but we are keeping a threshold. For example, if the CPU utilization is 80%, so if it moves over from 80 to 81%, so an alert will be set up on your CloudWatch. So this alert will be sent to either SQS or SNS. simple notification service. From that SMS, the message will be transferred to your mobile or any other mobile devices, or if it is SES, it will be an email will be sent stating that your alarm that you have set in Amazon S3 for this instance CPU reaches more than 80%. So kindly check on this instance. So suddenly what we will do, we will log into the instances and we will try to resolve the issue or clear the caches, or we can clear the unwanted services or unwanted applications that are running inside the DC instances. So not only this can be done. For example, I'm giving you a live example. So Flipkart and Amazon are starting up their big billion days, or your Amazon big days or something like that. So if they're starting up their days, so what people will try to do is they'll try to log in to their systems and they'll try to hit the Amazon URL or the Flipkart URL. So when they are trying to hit like that, so n number of people will try to hit the URL on Amazon website, and your Amazon website might get hacked. So at these time, your alarms, what it will do is it can be synced with auto scaling. So what is auto scaling is nothing but if the resources are used at most, or if the resources are overused. So in another way, you can say if the resources that are used or the services inside the AWS are overused, you can attach one more service, the same kind of service, so that the traffic will be diverted and the system hangs or your system hanging issues will be resolved. Because in two ways the traffic are diverted, so the traffic flow will become very smooth, and your system won't hang up or your system won't shut down. So that is main thing of auto scaling. So whatever services are used more, the Amazon automatically that same kind of service and same kind of service or the same kind of instances, one more instances. So the traffic or the weightage will be spreaded or divided, and they are used in two different systems dynamically. So it can be added or removed easily to instances or send a notification. Anything it can be done. So that is the main thing of auto scaling. So auto scaling will be seen in future classes. What is auto scaling and how an auto scaling can be enabled, and what are the things that can be configured to enable an auto scaling. So this is one of the things. Cloudwatch is one of the things to enable auto scaling on your instances that are running in AWS. So view graphs and statistics. So Amazon Cloudwatch dashboards enable you to create reusable graphs of AWS resources and custom metrics. So you can quickly monitor operational status and identify issues at a glance. So Amazon Cloudwatch dashboards enable you to create a reusable graph of Amazon AWS resources and custom matrices. So you can quickly monitor operational status and identify issues at a glance. So what they are saying here is your Amazon CloudWatch dashboard is nothing but you have a dedicated screen for CloudWatch, where all your instances, health notification, CPU utilization, data transfer, input output per second, or memory usage, or your disk volume usage, so everything will be seen. So it can enable you to create a reusable graphs of AWS resources. So you can reuse the AWS resources graph and custom matrices, so you can quickly monitor operational status and identify issues at a glance. At a single glance, you can identify the issues. Metric data is kept for a period of 15 months, enabling you to. So all those metric data are stored, and it will be kept for a period of 15 months. So it's nearly more than a year, enabling you to view up to the minute data. So if you want server statistics or the matrices for yesterday events or today, for this till this minute, back to more than 1.5 years, that is back 15 months, we can see all the histories in the CloudWatch. So Amazon CloudWatch, you can load all the matrices in your account for search and graphing with the AWS management console. This includes logs, AWS resource metrics, and application metrics that you provide. So you can do a graphing. Graphing is nothing but a chart or a graph for a utilization spike or something like that. You can include these logs and you can create a graph in Amazon CloudWatch. So you can view the graphs instead of seeing the numbers, because sometimes if we see a hell lot of numbers, more than 1 lakh numbers, so 1 lakh columns and 1 lakh rows of numbers, we will get bitterly confused, and we don't know where the spike has happened. So instead of seeing those logs, we can just logs into graphs, and or so that we can use the statistics, and we can use the spike at what time the spike has happened, or what time the CPU utilization is very low, or what time the CPU is not or stopped working. All those things we can see. So what is the pricing? So Amazon CloudWatch is a free tier, but when it is a free tier, as I said, Amazon CloudWatch can be only enabled to AWS services. So if you are having any AWS service, you can able to enable CloudWatch. So if you don't have any services, you cannot be able to enable CloudWatch. So if you are having any CloudWatch services, any AWS services, you can enable CloudWatch, and that is a free tier. You can get started with Amazon CloudWatch for free. Many applications should be able to operate within these free tier limits. So there are many applications or many services will be able to operate. If you have the service in AWS, that service, if you have the service in AWS, and if you get started with Amazon CloudWatch for free, many applications should be able to operate within tier limits. For example, EC2 can able to operate, and they can get synced with CloudWatch for free. Elastic Load Balancer, they can get synced with Cloud for free, and Amazon RTS instance can get synced with CloudWatch for free. So new and existing customers also receive free dashboard of up to 15 matrices per month at no additional costs. So new and existing customers, so new customers who are using Amazon Web Services or who are using EC2 instances, so who are using EC2 instances also receives 3 dashboards or of up to 50 matrices each per month at no additional charge. We can have 3 dashboards up to 50 matrices. For example, CPU utilization is one matrix, data utilization or the data volume utilization is one matrix, and RAM utilization, memory utilization is one matrix. So basic monitoring metrics, yeah, 5-minute frequency. So every 5 minutes it has a frequency, so it will go and check these instances for free of charge. So if you are setting it for 5 minutes frequency, that is free. And if you want a 2-minute frequency or a minute frequency or 5-minute frequency is a default one. If you want any other frequencies like this 1 or 2 or 3 minutes once, you need to set it. You need to get the statistics or matrices, then it will be charged. So as all matrices for Amazon APS volumes, Elastic Load Balancers, and Amazon RTS DB instances. So new and existing customers also receive 10 matrices to detailed monitoring. Detailed monitoring is what I said. If you want it to be done for every 3 minutes or every 2 minutes or every minute, then it is a detailed monitoring. So monitoring for EC2 instances, custom matrices or CloudWatch logs, 10 alarms per month can be enabled. So not applicable resolution alarms, and 1 million API requests each year month at no additional charge. So that can be enabled. High resolution alarms are not included in free tier. So new and existing customers receive extended retention of metrics free of charge. New and existing customers also receive 5 GB of data ingestion and 5 GB of archived storage per month at no additional charge. So new customers also receives 5 GB of data ingestion and 5 GB of archived storage. Data ingestion is nothing but the data that are injected, that are the matrices that you can create, and 5 GB of archived storage per month at no additional. So how we can access CloudWatch? We can access CloudWatch using any of the following methods. Amazon CloudWatch, you can log into the console, and you can if you search as CloudWatch, it will take you to CloudWatch. Or Amazon CLI is nothing but the command line interface. So in the command line interface, you can get set up with interface. In either you can we have a path for that. I'll tell you later about those. and CloudWatch API, we have API reference and API calls, and using AWS SDKs. So related AWS services. What are the related AWS services that are related to Amazon CloudWatch? So if you can sync up these services with AWS CloudWatch. So we are going to see those kinds of services here. So Amazon Simple Notification Service can be synced up and they can be used with Amazon CloudWatch. So SNS coordinates and manages the delivery or sending of messages to subscribing endpoints or clients. So as I said, as we have already seen what is SNS, so you can use Amazon SNS Watch to send messages when an alarm threshold has been reached. So that's what I said. You can sync up these CloudWatch and SNS service. So SNS is a simple notification service, and you know what is that, as we have seen a lot about SNS a week back. So it's using a simple notification service, and the Amazon board will get synced to send messages when an alarm or threshold has been reached. As I said, for example, if you are having 100 GB of volume, in that 100 GB of volume, your 80 GB is almost used, and you have kept a threshold, alarm threshold for 85. If you have kept an alarm stating that if the volume reaches 85 GB, then I need to see an alert in my mobile or in my email. So what this CloudWatch will do, they will have a sync with SNS or SES. So when this CloudWatch gets the information from the instance that my volume has reached 85% or the threshold has reached 85%, suddenly this CloudWatch will get synced up with SNS, and it will just send a message to SNS saying that this utilization has been reached 85%. So what the SNS is, the SNS, as we seen already, SNS, they will try to using some, they will have some topics, and then they'll see for which type of user or which group of users this message has to be sent. Then using the topics, they'll just push those messages either in your mobile handheld devices, or if you use SNS, it can be done in your handheld devices. If you use SES, it can be done on your laptops using email, or it can be done in any forms. So Amazon ATEC to auto scaling. So as I said, auto scaling is nothing but you're scaling up your instances automatically. So whenever there is a traffic or whenever there is a load on your instances or your web services, so if your CloudWatch tries to get that your services will get dead in 1 or 2 minutes, so that all your instances has to be auto scaled. So like that the messages will get transferred. Then the CloudWatch, what this CloudWatch will do, will send a message to the auto scaling configuration that we have done on inside AWS, saying that your instances is getting more traffic, so you need to add one more instances to get the service retained, or the service without stability. To get the service stability, you need to do auto scaling. So it enables you to automatically launch or terminate instances. So when there is very less traffic also, what this automatic auto scaling will do, they will cut down this one instances. Instead of having 2 instances, why we need to spend more money on those instances if your traffic is less. For one, if you are getting a traffic that an instance capable of handling the traffic means, why you want 2 systems? So you can terminate either one of the instances, so your costs and your billability will get cut off. So based on that, user defined policies, health statistics and schedule. Health statistics is nothing but the health status of your system or server, and you can even schedule it. So schedule in the sense, using auto scaling, you are scheduling a configuration like from morning 6 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock I need 6 instances. So after 6, before 6 o'clock and after 6 o'clock I need only 2 instances. So like that you are scheduling, and what this scheduler will do, will try to add up instances, or the auto scale instances correctly at 6 o'clock, and it will stop and it will remove those instances only to apart, leaving those 2 instances. So it will remove after 6 o'clock. So even that can be done. You can use a CloudWatch with auto scaling to scale your EC2 instances based on demand. That's what I said. So if, for example, as I said, Flipkart is having big billion days. At the type of big billion days, what this cloud or this CloudWatch or this auto scaling will do is, so it asks the AWS automatically that I want extra 6 instances with 2 instances, so totally 8 instances from morning 6 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock. So this auto scaling, what it will do, it will pile up all those 8 instances, and it will start all those 8 instances 6 instances from 6 o'clock, and it will stop those 6 instances at evening 6 o'clock, so that your 2 systems will be remaining stable, and the extra 6 instances are accessed or enabled based on your demand. So AWS CloudTrail. So CloudTrail is nothing but same as your CloudWatch, but CloudTrail only takes the logs that are created inside the management console of AWS. It won't go and check each and every instances, but it will check the management console. What are the things we have done in management console? Example, if we start up an instance in AWS, a log will be created in CloudTrail, and you can see the log that this user at this time, at this availability zone, at this region, and this instances has been created, like log will be created in CloudTrail. So and this account at this account, so all these are CloudTrail work. So enables you to monitor the calls made to the Amazon CloudWatch API for your account, including calls made by Amazon Management Console. That's what I said. If you click on Amazon Management Console, if we start launching an instance, so even that log will be generated, and a log will be stored in CloudTrail. So using AWS and other services, when CloudTrail logging is turned on, CloudWatch writes log files to the Amazon S3 bucket that you specified when you configure CloudTrail. AWS Identity and Access Management. So AWS Identity and Access Management is a web service that helps you securely control access to AWS resources. Resources for your users. Use IAM to control who can use your AWS resource authentication and what resources they can use in which ways. So all those things we can do with AWS Identity and Access Management. So creating Amazon CloudWatch alarm. What is that CloudWatch alarm? How to configure and how to create a CloudWatch alarm? You can create a CloudWatch alarm that watches a single metric. The alarm performs one or more action based on the value of the metric relative to a threshold over a number of time periods. So the action can be an Amazon EC2 action, or an auto scaling action, or a notification sent to an Amazon SMS topic. So how to create and how this CloudWatch is created inside AWS console, that's what we are going to see. You can create a CloudWatch alarm that watches a single metric. Single metric is nothing but either a CPU utilization is a single metric, volume utilization is a single metric, or data transfer is a single metric for your EC2 instances. So which watches a single metric. The alarm performs one or more actions. The alarm, in the sense that threshold, if the threshold is reached, the alarm is generated. So that's what they are saying. The alarm performs one or more actions based on the value of the metric relative to a threshold over a number of time periods. So the value actions based on the value of the metric or the threshold that we have specified on the single metric. So if we are specifying a metric, if we are specifying a threshold of 80% on a metric of CPU utilization, if it reaches the 80%, so the actions are taken care by CloudWatch. So after 80% is after the 80% utilization is 80% is more than 80% is coming up, then the actions is nothing but either you can do an auto scaling, or you can give an alarm and a notification using SNS, or you can give a notification using SQS. So that's what the action, the action can be an EC2 action or an auto scaling action. So EC2 action is nothing but the alarm action. For example, EC2 will send an alarm. From that alarm an SMS notification can be done on auto scaling. So after 80% is over, you can auto scale. You can add an instance, or you can add one more CPU or something like that you can do, or notification. As I said, notification using SMS, Amazon SMS topic. So alarms invoke actions for sustained state changes only. Sustained state changes in the sense for any predefined changes. So CloudWatch alarms do not invoke action simply because they are in a particular state. The state must have changed maintained for a specific number of periods. So this alarms invoke action for sustained state changes only is nothing but if your CPU utilization is 80% for 1 minute, then it won't take action, right? Because within 1 minute you cannot say anything that your CPU is 80% utilized for this 1 minute, so your system is going to be down. So if your CPU utilization is more than 85% for more than 30 minutes or more than an hour, then only you can say that okay, the static is still it's coming on and you have to take some other actions. So that's what the CloudWatch will do. It will check for a specific period that is configured by us. If the same state remains for that, but if the same state or the particular state remains for that period of time, then an action is taken, and the state must have changed. If the state has not been changed and been maintained for a specific number of periods, so specific number of periods is for 1 hour, then the action is taken. Either an alarm is triggered or an auto scaling event is generated or a notification is sent by using Amazon SMS topic. So that's what they are saying. So within 1 minute you cannot give up with the result saying that your system is going to shut down as your CPU utilization is 80 for a minute. So that's what they are saying. So if the same utilization is retaining for more than half an hour or more than 10 minutes, then you can say okay, something is fishy inside the server and something is happening bad inside the CPU, so I can go up with some action. So that's what the this paragraph, the second paragraph says. So after an alarm invokes an action due to change in state. So after an alarm is invoked by Amazon CloudWatch, an action is due to in change. The action will start when the alarm is invoked. So its subsequent behavior depends on the type of action that you have associated. Subsequent behavior is nothing that if we have if we have 80% of utilization, so the action is taken depends on the utilization. For example, sometimes if 80% of utilization comes up, then the user might have asked the Amazon to just send me a notification. If 85% or if 90% of utilization is up, then the user might have configured for auto scaling action. Or if 90% is used up or your threshold is more than 90%, then the user might have configured for SNS or SES also to email service. So like that, your action depends on the type of threshold that has been utilized. So now we are going to see a video about how to configure an Amazon CloudWatch in AWS.
முடிச்சிங்களா?
So thank you guys. So that's what we have seen today. What is CloudWatch and how we can configure CloudWatch using a video. And let's send you the organizer so that you can take a copy of the PPT and you can learn more about the CloudWatch from this PPT. So thanks a lot. Hello sir, session over sir for today. We have recorded, right? Okay, sir. I'll send the PPT to Shilpa by today or tomorrow morning. We will send it. Okay. I'll add some more things and I'll send to Shilpa. Okay. Okay. Raj. Thanks. Iya.